going to say, it's full on like Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Love led us here kind of moment.
It's a real movie treasure pile.
Yeah.
So there's a gunfight in an underwater treasure tunnel that results in a fist fight, weapons. Stephen Baldwin grabs a sword, grabs a shield first, and twats the guy in the face with a shield. And then grabs a sword, the other grabs an axe, and both weapons are kind of bending as they're being fought with, because it's all like stage props. It's great.
I mean, I'm like polystyrene.
Yeah.
And there's just not enough shark.
There's not.
And I know that's a silly thing to complain about, but...
Well, but then the guy he's fighting with, he sees a lever, he's like, I'm going to pull this lever, it's going to be a trap. And it is. It's a portcullis that gets him in the throat. So this is my death of the film. It's my favourite part.
It's good. It's very good. I love good use of a portcullis. I love a portcullis.
It's so rare.
Start.
They're not enough films.
It's very Phantom of the Opera, like very gothic and dramatic. I just wanted more sharks. I just wanted, like, there could have been like a really, like, the first shark that was ever put there, and he's almost like, you know, like how in Pirates of the Caribbean, Bootstrap Bill Turner has become like part of the ship. Like the shark has become like part of the cave. It's almost like stone-like, and it's covered in moss, and it just sits there, and it's like all of its teeth are like yellow, and it's like grey, and it's got scratches on it, and it really like just looks after the treasure in the cavern, and like just like eats people that like comes into. Do you know what I mean? They really could have pushed the shark. They could have jumped the shark.
Yeah.
A bit more with this movie.
Indeed, they don't go far enough at any point. So
no, and you always need to go too far in these movies. If you're doing a shark movie, you need 70% shark, and then you need a real like jumping the shark moment.
Which we'll talk about that.
Insane.
We'll talk about a literal jumping the shark moment in Ice Sharks in a couple of weeks' time.
Nice.
Which that has a glorious moment where someone jumps over a shark.
Oh, I love.
Yeah, it's fantastic. $2.99 on iTunes. Don't watch the word version on YouTube because it's all in Italian. That was frustrating. So 2 more goons are sent in after Stephen Baldwin to go and find him.
We forgot the twist.
Oh yes, the twist that Lieutenant Totti is she's on the bad side. She's been working with Don Vito Clemenza the whole time.
Ooh.
So she's the one who probably gave him the jewel. I assume that Clemenza's been like in league with the police through her to try and quell any news of shark attacks.
I guess it's not at all explained, and then all immediately undone. So who's to say?
Well, yeah, and she's on the bad side, but then next scene she's actually good. It's fine.
Yeah. Enough.
She changed her mind. There's enough of the killing.
Too much killing. Oh, I'm sorry. Was there like a limit for you? Did you like come in with a quota and we've like exceeded that, and now you're like, dipping out? Fair enough.
Yeah. Well, he's now going to kill. He's going to shoot Laura or Stephen Baldwin, and like, no, I like these people. I've betrayed them in the past, but now they seem okay.
Yeah, I've been nothing but unhelpful and mean to them, but the script says that I changed my mind, so I guess I've changed my mind.
Yeah. So, but Stephen Baldwin, he's set a trap with some gunpowder to blow up any henchmen and the treasure when they come down there. So he then gets blown into the water and up and out into the safe zone. No problem at all fine. He's out. And actually, he gets blown into the water, and as soon as he lands in the water, he's suddenly wearing his scuba gear, which is not...
Yeah, yeah, which is a very impressive skill to have.
That's a nice superpower.
But like with scuba diving kit. It's very good.
So, Lieutenant Totti, she shoots one of the other henchmen. Like, Clemenza has the gun on Laura, Totti has the gun on someone, and there's henchman guns everywhere. So the turncoat shoots Clemenza's man, and then someone shoots her. And this is when I thought, oh no, this is like Stephen Baldwin's dad is back in. He's the one who shot someone from off screen, but no, that's not what happened. He's dead. So then this leads to a fist fight between Stephen Baldwin and Vito Clemenza, which falls into the water, where the sharks are. Where they are for the next 10 minutes of the film. Just fist fighting on the surface of the water whilst the SWAT team raids the place. Helicopters fly overhead. The police arrive on foot and on boat and everything. There's a gunfight and everyone's shooting everyone all the while. These two guys are just scrapping in the water.
Love it.
For so long.
For like no threat of like.
No, and eventually they're fighting, they're strangling each other underwater. Eventually, the shark comes and eats the bad guy, not the good guy.
Yeah, because it knows the difference.
Yeah. Well, it's already
better
tasted
the
Stephen
movie.
Baldwin a couple of times, and
Yeah.
clearly it didn't like him enough to eat him.
Yeah.
So
He swallowed the Hannah Montana tattoo and was like, oof, no.
whereas this guy's some local. He's eating local.
Yeah. Fresh Italian.
Yeah.
Just need a bit of Parmesan.
So bad guys are all taken out, good guys are all fine.
Hooray!
Stephen
Shark
Baldwin.
problem is not a problem that needs to be
that's-
dealt with.
That's fine. That's there.
We're just going to leave that.
Stephen Baldwin says, like, the Lieutenant Totty, she's fine. She's a hero. She saved us. So
Yeah,
she's okay.
I just want to make sure that on your report you say that she shot the bad guy and saved both of us. And then she's like, I'm so sorry I betrayed you. And he's like, hey, you just work on getting better. And it's like, what?
People are dead because of her. His fiancée was kidnapped because of her. She was almost killed several times. But hey, she's a hero.
But hey, he does not want any drama. He's too busy pulling out the most.
Well, no, but before then. But as they walk away from the police captain, the captain's like, "Oh, remember?" And he turns around and goes, "I know.
Oh, I know.
There's no sharks in Venice. There bloody well are. There's hundreds of them.
So many sharks in Venice.
If you keep
And
denying this, you're gonna have a huge problem."
You're gonna have a real problem. But not as big as a problem that Laura has, because he literally turns to her with the straightest of faces and pulls out. There's been many a ghastly necklace, many a horrible movie necklace in my time, but this is just awful. He pulls out the most gaudy, disgusting necklace and says, "How do you think this will look with your wedding dress?" And then he puts it on her, and she has to, like, because she's like been kidnapped. And they nearly died. I guess that's what she's like reading from, where she's like, "We'll talk about this later," because I literally said out loud to the television. He was like, "How will this look with your wedding dress?" I was like, if we're doing like a reenactment of the Victorian era, I guess fine, but otherwise, out of everything in that cave, this is what you brought out?
Well, given he's like a classical architecture fan and she's an expert in medieval times, they might be having a medieval themed wedding.
They might be having
It's
like a medieval fair wedding.
Yeah.
Maybe, in which case, fine. But I was like, that is the most offensive thing you've done, and people have died from sharks in this movie.
Yeah.
And
Also,
this is the worst thing I'm looking at.
he's doing this in front of the police.
Yeah,
This-
I stole this from the treasure trove. Let's go. I'll just put it on you now. P.S. There are definitely still sharks in Venice, and you will need to deal with that.
Yeah, this is the kind of thing where you're like, you hide it in a suitcase, you hope it doesn't get picked up in customs.
Yeah.
And when you get home,
hiding it in an orifice, to be honest,
Well,
because
I
it is
think maybe-
technically illegal.
I would like put it in a package and post it home. I think that's going to have more chance than getting through security.
Yeah.
But hey, not that I've thought about this kind of thing.
Not that I also want to take that necklace home with me, and definitely don't want to wear it on my wedding day.
Well,
but
the only thing you could do is sell it or museum. It's
Because,
not.
like, was he think? Is that what he was thinking? He was down in that cave fighting for his life the whole time. So at what point was he like?
Well, there was a
Hey,
time between once the guy died with the portcullis, the two goons didn't show up for a little while, so he like laid the gunpowder trap.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe and then he decided this
Went
all
nosy.
of these things he could take.
Yeah.
This crap.
There's like classy emerald brooches and like sapphire rings, and he's like, yes, this horrible costume jewelry necklace.
Yep.
Ugh. And is that when the credits start rolling?
Just after she says she makes him promise they don't honeymoon in Vegas. In Venice.
In Venice.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. As if like that was a funny line. That was a line that was written at the beginning of the process and now doesn't work or make sense or is funny or endearing or charming, but they've kept it in because they feel like it sounds like a good way to round off the movie.
Yeah. And then the credits starts. And
then the credits start for
20 seconds.
50 seconds.
We come back to this is Pietro. This is the shot of Pietro piloting the gondola from earlier.
Literally.
It's the same footage, but now a shark jumps out. He doesn't react because it's the same footage.
Like a shark that we've not ever seen before.
A huge shark. This is like a
he-
megalodon.
It's like a megalodon, done. It's like brown and like spotted. It's like a horror movie shark, like the kind of shark you see on the poster for this kind of movie,
Yeah.
where they've like zhuzhed it up to make it more frightening, and it like comes out of the water onto the boat in a way that we've never seen a shark come out of the water onto a boat in this movie before. Nope. And then we just resume, because it wasn't even like when Marvel are doing credits and, you know, we're going to cut to like a mid-credit sequence or anything. It's like the screen is black, the font is white, the credits are rolling, and then we just cut to this shark jump, and then we just cut back and resume.
Yeah, that's it.
Rolling where
as you were. Proceed. Yeah.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant. It was so good. I was
highly
like,
unnecessary.
Okay, welcome back. like, where did that come from? Is that Carrie? Like, where did the sort of, we need a big old, like, Friday 13th, like, I get it's a vague tropey trope, but, like, it just felt so forced and bizarre that they were like,
well, and it's reminding you of the, you know, they didn't fix the problem.
They didn't fix the problem. And I don't know if that's like, was it like when you see the Godzilla eggs at the end of Godzilla 94? Like, are they trying to be like, hey, Shark in Venice 2, Electric Boogaloo?
I feel like you're trying to make me correct you, because it's 98 at this point. Listeners, I'm not normally this pedantic, but it's a callback at this point. It's the rule of three.
Yeah. So good. That's a lot of fish. So yeah. Honestly, it should be called Shark in Venice 2 Electric Boogaloo, and the way they solve it is how Homer Simpson goes fishing, where he just like puts the thing in the water and just electrocutes all of the water, and then all of the sharks will rise to the surface.
Yeah. So that's Shark in Venice. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed this conversation more, but I definitely enjoyed watching the film.
It's fun. It's dumb fun. It's like it's like a really good shark movie, because it's like what you kind of could have done with more sharks, but a lot of them have that. A lot of them don't offer much shark action because sharks are difficult to do on film, and yet there are so many shark movies.
That's it. Well, you know, there's lots of very cheaply made shark movies because sharks are pretty identifiable. They're easier to do than like a lion, say.
Oh, definitely. Or even like a crocodile, which is scarier.
Yeah. To you.
Genuinely scared of crocodiles. How are you not scared of crocodiles?
I've never met one, so I'm good.
They're horrible. Like,
I get they have the land threat and the water threat. Like with sharks, just don't go in the water. You're fine. But... Exactly.
And sharks like don't attack humans, whereas crocodiles like do. And they swallowed Captain Hook's hand, and they can't be trusted.
That's a fine example. That is true. Yes.
They're horrible.
Good. Okay. So, one thing I like to do with these films we talk about is compare them to Deep Blue Sea. So I have this one actually quite a short list of how this film is like Deep Blue Sea. Sometimes this goes like 20 things, but we've only got a few. And the first one is Deep Blue Sea 2, because you got Stephen Baldwin starts off by giving a lecture to some students, which is how we're introduced to Dr. Misty Calhoun in Deep Blue Sea 2. Yeah. There is a relationship between a much older man and a much younger woman. In Deep Blue Sea, it's Stellan Skarsgård and Janice Higgins, Jacqueline McKenzie, which is a 16-year difference. Do you want to hazard a guess on the difference in the age is between Stephen Baldwin and Vanessa Johansson?
I'd say like 10.
It's 14 years.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, there are worse things in film, but it's noteworthy here, I would say. Because he looks older than he is in this film.
Yes.
The years haven't been kind to Stephen Baldwin.
No.
So there's a shark bursting through the bottom of a boat, as is the case with the opening of Deep Blue Sea, and there's at one point a grenade is thrown in a tank, and there's this really tall water explosion. But for me, the biggest comparison is this is a mix of two Spielberg films. Like Deep Blue Sea is basically Jaws meets Jurassic Park. Mm-hmm. You get Deep Blue Sea. This is Jaws meets The Last Crusade in many, many ways.
Yes.
So much so that the Indiana Jones Minute is a podcast that I adore. They cover the Indiana Jones films minute at a time. One of the inspirations for us doing Deep Blue Sea, scene by scene. I'm going to recommend that they watch Shark in Venice as like a bonus episode, because I think I doubt they'll do it. They like good films. Like well-made films, I should say. They like competently made films.
That's fair.
But I'm going to recommend it nonetheless.
And to be honest though, if you were at a party and someone was like, hey, do you want to watch this movie? It's basically like Jaws meets The Last Crusade. Everyone in the room would say, yes, I want to watch that movie.